Hello everyone, this is Phil again, and I wanted to do an addition to my last video about the Alexapure Pro water filtration system. Here is, again, a spring water bottle. It's a 1.5 liter bottle that I used to have spring water in, and when I was done with it, I basically used the filtered water from the Alexapure to put in here, and it's still great water, the best water I've ever drank. So I researched the actual minerals that they place into purified water when you buy them in the case. And what I found out is basically how they purify the water, usually by reverse osmosis. And they do all kinds of tests before that reverse osmosis to make sure that they have a credible water source. They don't have to keep on basically purifying to get the end product. So they basically do the distillation of the dirty water source, and they have a pure water source after they distill it. So it's distilled water. It's 100% safe for you, although it may, if you're not used to it, your body's not used to it, it may have a diuretic effect, and it may flush out your system because your body wants to ingest the actual H2O with minerals that helps your body uptake the fluids a lot easier. And that's basically how our body is designed, over tens of thousands a year to uptake mineral water. Our body needs those minerals for functioning. And so actual distilled water might not be the best thing, okay? But in terms of not having any kind of parasites, bacteria, or anything, harmful heavy metals, it is literally the safest water for you. That's any distilled water source. But when you buy purified water, it's basically the distilled water source, completely 100% water, no additives whatsoever, and then they end up adding, what did I say before? I was wrong before, so I want to correct this. It was basically calcium chloride that they input into your water with magnesium sulfate and also sodium bicarbonate. If sodium bicarbonate sounds familiar, it should. It's basically the Arm & Hammer baking soda that you used to place in your refrigerator to take care of all the odors. So I did a lot of research after the fact also and learned how they basically do a lot of tests of the incoming water source, whether it's from a well or the municipal water. And they do a lot of tests ahead of time to see what's in the actual water. Perhaps if they have nothing but a source of water that has nothing but good minerals in it, they will divert it to spring water instead of purified water before the fact. So I had this bottle, and basically it's a purified water from the Alexapure Pro, and it's still the best water I've ever tasted. So I wanted to speak about those added minerals. Basically, those minerals are there so your body, at least your mouth, tastes water, and it has a certain flavor to it. Unfortunately, because I started drinking the Alexapure Pro, I taste tested some purified water and bottled water after the fact, and it almost tasted caustic. It almost tasted antiseptic in nature and had sort of a light burning feeling in the back of my throat. It felt almost like acid reflux, but after a couple more sips, my system would just let the water go downwards, and I didn't have that acid reflux, but I still had that flavor on the back of my tongue. So, in essence, purified water is good for you in moderation, but it still upsets my stomach. So I can't tell you it's 100% safe for everybody. Okay. So I wanted to clarify those things. Also, the calcium, I think I said calcium sulfate before, and I don't know why I said that. I don't remember all the periodicals on the chemical table. And it's very important to remember the 4 different kinds of water. Especially if you're in a survivalist mood, everybody should invest in a clean water source and a clean water filtration system, especially if it's a grid down scenario It's an EMP strike. It's a nuclear holocaust, which causes an EMP strike. You're going to be going through a lot of different water sources, perhaps, to hydrate. You never know. And if the economy crashes when all this happens, you're not going to be able to go to the store and buy purified water. In fact, you wouldn't even get to go to the store and buy some gallons of water that just says from a municipal source. I've also drinking water from the jugs that was bottled in the 1 gallon jugs that were straight from a municipal source. And they say that, and it's like, why do you need that? Well, I'm assuming the marketing is that you can carry those around for perhaps pets when you're driving long distances, and the pets can drink that water. But I've drank that water before, and it was nasty. It gave me all the elements of gastric distress, acid reflux, some bloating, some gas, and just sat on top of whatever I ate. So there's basically 5 total water sources when you go out and purchase things. You have basically the tap water, and that is no guarantee it's fresh, even though it might have been taken care of at a water treatment plant. There's too much fluoride in it. There's too much minerals. There's too much heavy metals. And perhaps there's still some trace bacteria. There's perhaps traces of rotting flesh from animals, from the water source through the pipelines all the way to your house. You just never know. Then you have what they bottle as municipal source water in gallon jugs. I recommend you do not drink that at all, because it's basic water that you can drink in a survival last chance effort, but it's basically made for your pets. Okay? One of the main companies that sells municipal brand water is actually called the Pet Company, PET. And it's very unhealthy for humans when you're trying to flush out your system, you're trying to do a basic body cleanse, what have you. Next, better, if you want to call it that, is actual spring water. Spring water has all kinds of minerals in it. They claim it's bottled clean and fresh from a mineral spring resource. And you're going to have a lot of taste to it. Perhaps it's going to be thicker in its flavor also when you're drinking it. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I still get gas occasionally and discomfort from spring water. And I also felt at one time drinking spring water an arrhythmia with my breathing, an arrhythmia with my heartbeat and my breathing, because I was drinking spring water all day, and not that much of it, but perhaps a few bottles in a row on a hot day, and I felt like a certain amount of thoracic discomfort. So I don't know what transpired, but it probably had to do with the minerals causing a certain arrhythmia and rising of my heartbeat with the actual spring water. This Clover Valley spring water bottle, the water I drank out of that was actually pretty tasty and pretty comfortable on my system. Okay. Again, I use this bottle to fill up the Alexapure Pro with pure water, and it's very clean, very tasty, no side effects whatsoever. Okay. So how many is that now? That's basically 2 or so. No, I'm sorry, 3. You have tap water, you have bottled municipal water, you have spring water. The second one is purified water, which is billed by all companies that do it as the safest, nicest, purest, healthiest water you can drink. And that's not necessarily the case either. What they do is they distill the water by reverse osmosis, and you have actually pure water without any minerals at first. Then they purposely add calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, and sodium bicarbonate to give the water flavor. This also helps your body with these minerals to uptake the water better, and it's not like a diuretic. It's not like you drink the water and it's running right through you. The water stays in your system more, and your body uses the actual H2O to hydrate. So I caution about purified water also because of the added minerals. But I've noticed through empirical evidence of my own body, purified water has a certain taste and has a certain aftertaste to it also. And it feels like acid reflux sitting on top of food I just ate if I drink water, purified water, after I just ate. So I can't really say it's 100% safe either for my system even, although it does quench the thirst. And I have drank purified water for the last 3 years. I will not drink tap water at all. And then the last one is 100% distilled water, which I've already touched base on. Distilled water is basically the cleanest water you can ever drink because it's distilled and it's another chemical process that basically ends up through heat and the cooling process real quick through tubes, and the end result is actually the water separated from any kind of mineral whatsoever. Okay, but again, you have to wonder if you drink that water, is your thirst going to be quenched or not? When I drank distilled water, it was okay drinking it after a day or two, in and out of being very busy and eating well. But at the same time, I felt like I had to keep on drinking it because something was missing. It was like it wasn't quenching my thirst 100% every time, especially compared to the Alexapure Pro water filtration system. Distilled water is tasteless and something I didn't like. I couldn't tell if it was good for my system or bad, even though it was completely healthy for my system. It's just most bodies will not uptake it each and every time, and the body will feel like it is not quenched. So those are the 5 basic water systems I was thinking about and I researched over the last few days. And if you basically Google the Nestle purified water, Nestle company with their purified water, they will tell you, and you can look it up, they will tell you the distillation process. The whole process from the municipal water source or the well source to the purification process, how they do reverse osmosis. They do a bunch of tests to see what's in the water to begin with. Then they do the reverse osmosis distillation process, and they keep on testing it as they go to get the most purified water they can. Then they add the actual minerals back in. So I wanted to clarify those things. Please research your water the best you can. And I still urge anybody who's watching this video to get an Alexapure Pro water filtration system or the Big Berkeley water filtration system, because they are the best and they have the cleanest and most flavorful water you can ingest. And your whole body will just thank you. If you drink that water after a day and a half, in your meandering, in your work, after your lunch, dinner, and breakfast, you'll notice that it tastes better and you feel like you are cleaner inside as you exert a lot of energy and put more water back into your system to rehydrate, replenish electrolytes, and what have you. I'm not 100% sure of what the Alexapure Pro has in terms of remaining minerals, but I can tell you this, it really works well. I use a shower nozzle in my shower to fill up the tanks. So far, probably 5 times, and each and every time the water tastes wonderful. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and take care of yourself.